Send the link in the group, beta. Send the link in the group. Hello, Shine. May I call you Shine, beta? Is it okay if I'll call you Shine? Divya, good afternoon. Rahul, good afternoon. Sharmila, good afternoon. Shrutika, good afternoon. Vishal, Shine, Sharmila, Kanishka, everyone, good afternoon, beta. Now what we are going to do is send the link in the group, beta. Send the link in the group. Okay, God bless you. So now look here. Send the link in the group and just listen to me. Last class we were talking about collenchyma, beta. Collenchyma, Shikha. Nice name, beta. Super Shikha. Nice to meet you, beta. Now listen. Last class we were studying about collenchyma, beta. Collenchymatic tissues, very important section. We have studied about collenchymatic tissues. We are not going to make it very complex. We are going to understand in a very simple way. Like if in hand I told you now how to remember that test part, beta, after the class beta, I'm going to explain that part. Okay, correction part after the class. Don't worry, beta. Link send. Thank you so much, beta. Shikha, welcome, beta. Welcome, Shikha. Shrutika, test part I am going to give, beta. 100%. 100%, beta, after this class. Okay, after this class, Keshav. After this class, physics class is there for 10th, and after that I am going to do your correction. Okay. Now shall we start, beta? Shall we start our class? Now look here. Previous class we have studied about collenchyma. We explained, I just explained the most important part of collenchymatic tissues. Can anybody tell me what is the difference between collenchymatic tissues and parenchymatic tissues? Then you will be saying, auntie, you know what, like collenchyma, parenchyma and sclerenchyma. These are three different type of simple permanent tissues. Because after long, beta, we started today. I am expecting my children to give all the perfect answers. Okay, all the perfect answers I am expecting. So one small recap we are going to do. We know that we have already studied about meristematic tissues. After meristematic tissues we have studied about permanent tissues, and we came to know that permanent tissues is of two types. How many types of permanent tissues are there? Two types of permanent tissues are there. One is simple permanent tissues and another one is complex permanent tissues. How many types of permanent tissues are there, beta? Very good. They have chlorophyll. Absolute correct, Keshav. Some of them are having chlorophyll. So we are exactly going to check that, beta, how many types of tissues are there. One is simple permanent tissues and another is complex permanent tissue. In finger, simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. Now simple permanent tissue is divided into three types. Simple permanent tissue is divided into three types. What are the three types of simple permanent tissues? So we have studied till now that okay, tissues are exactly divided into two. One is meristematic tissues, meristematic tissues, meristematic tissues, and second is, beta, permanent tissues. Now permanent tissues are further divided into two types. One is simple permanent tissue, and second is complex permanent tissue. In complex permanent tissue we are going to check xylem and phloem. Okay, and in simple permanent tissue, beta, parenchymatic tissue, and then collenchymatic, and then the third one is sclerenchymatic tissue. So three kinematic tissues are there, three permanent tissues are there. I am going to ask, beta, sclerenchyma, okay, sclerenchyma, that is parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. So three is there, PCS. We have discussed that, Dana, that parenchymatic tissues, collenchymatic tissues and sclerenchymatic tissues. So three different type of simple tissues are there. How many type of simple tissues are there, beta? Three different type of simple tissues are there. What are they, beta? Parenchymatic tissues, sclerenchymatic tissues and collenchymatic tissues. So three different type of tissues we have learned. Now beta we are going back to the PDF, and there we are going to understand that apical part to already we are going towards the parenchymatic tissues. Then parenchymatic tissue says that you know, if you are searching me now, then you have to exactly search me in most part of the plant. In simple story like story, if you want to study, then parenchymatic tissue says that I am present in most of the part of the plant. And you know what? I am having the capability to double myself, means my cells can double itself. So another one thing, the cells are doubling means the cells are living. So parenchymatic tissues, the cells which is exactly making parenchymatic tissues, they are living cells and they have the power to divide. Okay. And next important thing is they are exactly framing most of the part of the tissue. Now the cells are exactly forming and giving the shape to the tissue. So that means another important thing is parenchymatic tissues are exactly, the cells of the parenchymatic tissues are forming or framing the bulk portion of the cell, bulk portion of the tissue, and giving shape to the tissue. So next important point, if we will study in a very simple way, that means we came to know that, okay Darshini, good beta. So correct only. Shiksha, correct only beta. Everyone absolutely correct beta. They are making the bulk part of the plant. They are exactly specifically present in most of the regions of the plant. Next important thing, the cells are living. Then next important thing beta, they are framing the part of the plant. Then another very important thing is that they are loosely, means there are intercellular space. Intercellular space means between two cell space is there in parenchymatic tissues. You see here, between two cells space is there in parenchymatic tissues. Now beta, next important thing in parenchymatic tissues, we have seen that the shape of the cells are exactly, it can be oval, it can be elongated, it can be spherical. Oval, elongated, spherical, absolutely. And next important point is it is having thin cell wall, so that beta cellular secretion can go inside and go outside, means the content can come in, go out. That part is also there. So what we learned about parenchymatic tissues in very simple way, no bookish content, we understood that parenchymatic tissues are living cells. Next important point beta, we studied that okay, these cells are exactly of spherical, oval and shape, and they are exactly having intercellular spaces between them. Most of them are living, they have the capability to divide itself. So many things about parenchymatic tissues we have understood. Now next important thing here is the vacuoles. So what about the vacuoles? Who is going to tell me about the parenchymatic vacuoles beta? Is the vacuoles present or not present? Shrutika, absolutely correct beta. It is having thin cell wall, so that secretion, means it will exactly allow the semi-permeable membranes, they will allow that the content to come in and go out. Okay, the fluid section. Next important beta, vacuole. The food vacuole will be large beta, large food vacuole, absolutely correct beta. Large and prominent food vacuole, absolutely correct beta. Now next important thing, where this region is parenchymatic tissues are located, then you will be saying, auntie, you know what, parenchymatic tissues, if it will be present in the mesophyll layer, you know what is mesophyll layer, where most of the section of photosynthesis is taking place, where the chloroplasts are present. So if the parenchymatic tissues are present in that region and it is exactly responsible for doing photosynthesis, that means beta it is called as Sclerenchyma. It is called as what? It is that time called as Sclerenchyma. Simple word. Colon no, Sclerenchyma. Now I am going to show you that part. We have already studied that section. What is exactly called as Sclerenchyma beta? Now look here. In if chloroplast is present, the parenchyma tissue is called Sclerenchyma and it performs photosynthesis. Example, mesophyll layer of leaves. I told you na beta, mesophyll layer of leaves are exactly containing that section. Means leaves na, the upper part is epidermis, and now beta in the upper section of the leaves, if you will be seeing beta, that is mesophyll layer will be in between and they will be having chloroplast. So if these chloroplasts are having parenchymatic tissues, parenchymatic cells, then they are responsible for doing photosynthesis, and since they are responsible for doing photosynthesis, that time beta they are getting a new name called as Sclerenchyma. What new name they got is Sclerenchyma. Next is beta in aquatic animal, aquatic plants. In aquatic plant, if you will be absolutely correct beta. Now in aquatic plant also beta, to give buoyancy means the floating capability of the plant which will be present in water, they need that buoyancy, they need that drift inside the water. Okay, so Darshini, these are those sections which we have already studied. Okay, parenchymatic tissue, it is a spherical in asperacle, okay, and oval in the floracking mean concytopic stele having a localized thickening in their cell wall. Okay. Okay, beta Shiksha, which part you are asking about, beta? Parenchymatic tissues you are talking about, Shiksha? Okay. Can you repeat, beta? It is a spherical in a spherical and okay, understood. Spherical in shape, okay? In their cell wall, yes, localized thickening will be there in the cell wall, and that will be beta collenchymatic tissue also will be different from parenchymatic tissue. Okay, I understood what you are saying, beta. Now look here. And the next important point what Shiksha is trying to say that about parenchymatic tissues and collenchymatic tissues. So most important thing here is, Shiksha, can I repeat that part, beta, what I exactly was discussing? Correct only, absolutely correct, Shiksha. So exactly what part is she telling, it's absolutely correct. About parenchymatic tissues and collenchymatic tissues, already we have understood that what is the basic difference in their cell is the intercellular space is more in parenchymatic tissues and the intercellular cell space is not there in collenchymatic tissues, because the cellulose are exactly responsible in the lining, means the outer lining segment thickening part is exactly done by the presence of the cellulose. So that is absolutely correct, beta. We were talking about that. Parenchyma, we were talking about parenchyma for what you call buoyancy, that part we were discussing. Darshini, exactly, beta, we have discussed now that PDF is present there in your channel, Darshini, and most important thing is it is exactly playlist is there. You have to check that parenchymatic tissue section, beta. We have already discussed. That day you were absent, Darshini. That day you were absent, beta. Now collenchymatic tissue section, we have understood that one very important part there, that is extracellular fluid will be exactly deposited in the outer lining, since the extracellular fluid will be present in the outer lining, and because of that what happened, there is no space between the cells, and because of that intercellular space is not there. You see here in collenchyma, intercellular space is not there, it is totally intact, beta. So that is the section coming for collenchyma. Okay, Darshu, one time, beta, if you will have doubt, again I will explain it to you, okay? That time you were not present that day. Now it is also characterized by extracellular deposit. We know that intercellular space is not there. Next we were understanding about collenchymatic tissues. It is localized below the epidermis. We have seen that hypodermis region, beta. We have seen that in which region collenchymatic tissues are present, and then we have understood that it is not present in monocot stems, it is present in dicot stems. It is present in which one, beta? Is it present in monocot stem or dicot stem? Who can answer me? Collenchymatic tissues are present in monocot stem or dicot stem? Monocot stem, Keshav, that day we have discussed long about it, beta. Monocot stem or dicot stem? It is present in which stem? Monocot stem or dicot? Correct only, Shruti. Correct only Kanishka. Ekta absolutely correct. Sarmila, dicot. Absolutely, beta. It is present in monocot stem or dicot stem. The correct answer, it is present in dicot stem. Very good, Ashwarya. And beta, next important point, correct only, Shishti, I think. Shishti na, beta? Shiksha or Srishti, beta, and Darshini, that is the Keshav dicot stem. Keshav, one more important point we have discussed, beta, and we discussed about the flexibility. We came to know another important point about collenchymatic tissues, that where are these collenchymatic tissues present. Then I have showed you some picture. I have talked about petioles, beta, midrib we have talked about. So in the leaf, beta, which region you will be finding what you call collenchymatic tissues, then you have to check that this region petioles and this region midrib, these are the regions where what you called collenchymatic tissues are present. Collenchymatic tissues are present in which regions, beta? Then you will be saying, auntie, midrib region is there, now this region and this petiole regions are there. These regions, that is collenchymatic tissues are present, auntie. and inside the epidermal region hypodermis is there, that region also collenchymatic tissues are present, auntie. And you know what, collenchymatic tissues are very very helpful because it provides flexibility. It provides flexibility, that strength is there na, the folding strength, it will be exactly given by collenchymatic tissues. That's why beta you might have seen that in thunder, lightning, plant will be very nicely dancing here and there. Most of the leaves, means some of the leaves will be exactly falling, but still leaves will be exactly intact there. Why? Because of that collenchymatic tissues, that dicot region, this petiole region is there na, it is collenchymatic tissues are connected, and because of that it gives strength to that, so that it will not be breaking. Even laminar region will be there, that region also it will be present. That's why beta you can fold the leaves nicely, you can bend the leaf can be open and closed like this. What is the reason behind beta? What is the reason behind? The simple reason behind here is that these collenchymatic tissues are present, these reasons. Okay, so if somebody will be asking you, say in simple, you show the leaf to them and say that this is the petiole region and this is the midrib region, and here only collenchymatic tissues are there, and because of that I can fold it from these regions. And beta that green stems are there na, inside the green stem, very soft green stems are there, there also inside the epidermis region, that is the hypodermis region, there also you see here this part is exactly beta, this region it is dicot stem. These are the reasons for dicot stem in this beta hypodermis, means the inner region of the stem na, this collenchyma will be there, collenchymatic tissues will be there, cells will be there, and because of that beta it will provide flexibility to the plant. What it is providing? It is providing flexibility. Absolutely correct Keshav, absolutely correct Shrutika. Now look here beta, next part we are going to study about sclerenchyma, but before starting for sclerenchyma we will just see one last part beta, that part is very very important. I want you all to understand this section and then we will study like a story. Okay, sclerenchyma, then we will study like a story. Now look at this part beta, that is what is the function of collenchyma. Function of collenchyma is very very important beta. I want you all, yes, flexibility is correct, midrib regions, these regions beta flexible it will be. Now look here, collenchymatic is a mechanical tissue in young dicotyledonous stem, yes, and provide mechanical support and elasticity. That is what we told na beta, ki it is exactly providing elasticity, flexibility. If flexibility will not be there, I am unable to bend this one, I am unable to bend. But if I am going to take a leaf section beta, from petiole region I can lift the leaf like this, the leaf can be lastly dancing like this. So this part is exactly why, because here one very important thing is elasticity is provided by the presence of collenchymatic tissues. By the presence of which tissues beta? Collenchymatic tissues. So now next important part is collenchymatic tissues provide tensile strength with flexibility to these organs. Okay, that means this part, remember collenchymatic tissues, if somebody will say, you say that hey, flexibility, that is the only answer. Okay, provide strength and flexibility to the leaf. Very good beta, providing strength and flexibility to the leaf. So that is one of a very important part beta. And next important thing is ki if collenchymatic tissues are exactly having chloroplast, then it will be exactly a chlorophyll it will be having. So it will do photosynthesis and it will be responsible for making what? It will be responsible for manufacturing starch and sugar. Okay, this is a very important thing beta. Now difference between parenchyma and collenchyma, very 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 important section. So first is the tissue consists of thin walled cells. We discussed that parenchymatic tissues walls are thin, but here beta we already know that cellular deposition is there, so this wall will not be thin, it will be thick only. Next beta, it is distributed in almost all the part of the plant. That is what in the beginning part we learned now, कि most of the plant part is exactly formed with parenchymatic tissues. Now see for collenchyma, it occurs mostly in the aerial part of the plant and is restricted to the other layers. Yes beta, it is only restricted to some layers now. Why? Because aerial means the upper region, leaves will be there, soft branches will be there, which is exactly very capable of dancing, moving, flexible part will be there. There only you will be finding collenchymatic tissues. So that is beta, if parenchymatic tissues are there, then you will see that parenchymatic tissues are present everywhere, means most of the region parenchymatic tissues will be present in the plant. Now collenchymatic tissues in the upper region, that the green leaves are there, green stems are there, these regions which in wind na can nicely dance like this and this, that reasons collenchymatic tissues are there. Come on, quickly tell me my children, understood this point? My children understood this point that simple content is there. Most of the part of the plant parenchymatic tissues will be exactly present, but collenchymatic tissues are present in the aerial section. Which section? Which is very what you call elastic functioning will be there. Yes, absolutely. Ekta have understood, Darshini understood. Okay. Okay, Darshu. Dance the leaf. But leaf will be telling you the entire story, beta. Shruti understood na beta? Super. Now look here. The living cell of parenchyma assimilate and store food. They also store waste product. So this is also one of a very important part na beta. We understood one when we were discussing about parenchymatic tissues. At that section we have understood another important point that keep the parenchymatic tissue, the cells are exactly storing the food and the waste product also. But are they storing food and waste product? Come on, check this one out. Collenchyma is the chief mechanical tissue in part of the young plant, particularly in the young dicotyledonous stem. And here we are not checking anything here like that they are storing something. They are exactly the young cotyledonous section, which is exactly responsible for providing the tensile strength or the flexibility to the plant, providing the strength and flexibility to the plant. Okay, the strength and flexibility to the plant. Come on, tell me everyone quickly this section till here beta. My children understood this part? Till here everyone say, everyone understood? Shiksha, everyone tell me. Shrutika, Shiksha, Aishwarya, Darshini, Divyashri, everyone tell me beta. Understood till here? Any doubt? Vishal understood. Keshav understood. Keshav, Vishal, yes, yesterday they were answering very nicely. Now tell me the answer. Sharmila understood beta? Yes, absolute. Very good beta. So we have understood till this section. Now we are going to go to the next section beta. Here we are going to understand sclerenchyma. Now sclerenchyma is totally different beta. Understood? Super. Now sclerenchyma is different from parenchyma and collenchyma beta. Now where parenchyma and collenchyma we were saying living cells, sclerenchymatic tissues are having dead cells. So this is the biggest difference between sclerenchymatic tissues and parenchymatic tissues and collenchymatic tissues. So if somebody will be telling you what is the difference between these tissues, then you will be saying that, hey, you don't know the difference, the sclerenchymatic tissues are exactly dead. So just use this word dead. Okay, now what we are going to understand here, that means hard and dead cells. So sclerals means hard, are dead cells, and they are devoid of protoplasm. This is the most important thing I want you all to remember beta. Devoid of protoplasm means what? They do not have, see look here, understand this part. What is protoplasm? Again and again I am asking this question from everyone. Can anybody tell me what is protoplasm here beta? What is protoplasm? Who can answer me what is protoplasm? I think Keshav is the one who will answer first. I know, because every time he has answered about protoplasm first. What is protoplasm here beta? Protoplasm. This time Shrutika has given the answer first. So exactly protoplasm is cytoplasm plus nucleus together is exactly called as protoplasm. Yes, correct Shruti. Cytoplasm and nucleus together. Yes beta. Nucleus and cytoplasm together is exactly called as what beta? Protoplasm. Together what they are called as? Protoplasm. Correct only. Ekta correct. Cytoplasm plus nucleus together is exactly called as protoplasm. Correct only. Aishwarya also correct. It is exactly called as protoplasm. So beta, protoplasm is not present in sclerenchymatic tissues because beta they are not having living cells. So since they do not have living cells, so they will not be having cytoplasm and the nucleus together. So since they do not have cytoplasm and nucleus together, what we can say that they are lacking protoplasm. The living part of the cell is exactly protoplasm. That is abbreviation beta, that is the sclerous hard, means this meaning is there, that is sclerenchyma meaning is exactly it is hard. General meaning of it is it is hard beta. General meaning of sclerous means hard, and dead cells, and they are devoid of protoplasm. Hard, dead and devoid of protoplasm. hard, dead. General meaning is exactly hard, dead and devoid of protoplasm. General meaning is what beta? They are hard, they are dead and devoid of protoplasm. Hard, dead and devoid of protoplasm means they do not have the living part of the cell. Okay. Now next important thing is that these cell walls are exactly have greatly thickened by lignins. So first we will try to understand what is this lignins are. So beta, because until and unless we will not understand what is lignin. How many of you have seen coconut husk beta? How many of you have seen coconut husk? First answer my question. Still I am going to the definition of lignin. Before that beta, I want to ask how many of you have seen coconut husk beta? Coconut husk. Coconut husk, how many of you have seen? That bit of dry coconut is there. In that dry coconut you will be seeing that hair like something will be there. That what you are going to call? Okay, Darshini is telling, Shrutika is telling, Darshini, Ekta, Sharmila, Vishal, they are telling they have seen the coconut husk. Now better that fiber like something will be present there na, that you will be calling it auntie. That is exactly coconut husk auntie, and that part is very what you call very hard auntie. You cannot break it like this. That is very hard, that is very tough. Now you know what, they are made with lignins only. Now we are going to understand what is lignin. This part is very important, so come on, you have to listen to me very nicely. Lignin is what? Lignin is a complex, okay, for which act as a cement. Lignin is complex beta, is a complex polymer, okay, means it will be exactly linked. The chemical formula for lignin means whatever polymer will be there, it will be interconnected with each other. Okay, yes beta. Auntie, adding lignin is providing strength because it is cement like something present in that. Okay, which act as cement. It is acting as, it is a complex polymer which act as cement and harden the cell wall. So definitely if lignin will be present beta, then it will be exactly acting as cement and it will make the cell wall hard. So if any cell will be there and that cell outside lignin is present, then what will the lignin do? The lignin will exactly act like cement and it will make the cell wall very hard. It will make the cell wall very hard. So what is lignin providing beta? Lignin is providing the hardness or strength to the cell. Okay, strength or hardness or stiffness it is providing. If somebody will be asking what is lignin, then you will be saying that it is a complex polymer, means it is a complex content that is present inside the plant, and it will not be like only one localized area it will be present. It will be exactly present inside the plant. This lignin will be present inside the plant and it is acting as cement and harden cell wall. So it is exactly going to do what? It will harden the cell wall. It provides flexibility and great tensile and compressional strength. Flexibility, tensile, strength, these are very important word. Who is providing flexibility? Lignin is providing flexibility. Who is providing tensile strength? Lignin is exactly providing tensile strength. Who is exactly providing compressional strength? Lignin is providing compressional strength. So three things lignin is providing. What are the three things lignin is providing? Correct, Ashwin. Lignin is exactly providing first flexibility, then tensile strength beta, then compressional strength. Tensile strength and compressional strength. So now we are going to understand what is this tensile strength and compressional strength is about. Okay. Now if I will give you a very soft stem and I will say that, hey, break the stem, then you will do what? You will say, auntie, if I will give you a very soft smooth stem and I will say that break it, you will do like this and you will break and say that, auntie, see, I have done that. But if the same thing beta, if I will give you a lignified stem, means that is exactly containing more of fibers and very thick lignins are present inside it, and I will tell you that break it, then you will keep on doing like this, you will keep on folding like this and you will say that, auntie, it is very hard, auntie, I cannot break it. Why it is very hard and you cannot break it? Because something is present inside it which is not only providing its flexibility, it is also providing it tensile strength. It is providing what beta? It is providing tensile strength. Okay, and compressibility strength also it is providing. So we are going to understand that high tensile strength means it does not break easily on stretching. And high compressional strength means it does not buckle easily. So definitely beta, you cannot be able to fold it like this. You cannot be able to fold it. The 2-3 tissues are there, 2-3 sclerenchymatic fibers are there. You cannot buckle it easily because they have first hardness, they have tensile strength, and you cannot buckle and mix it like this. Okay, so that is what beta. So tensile strength, it is having what? It is exactly having tensile strength. Okay, so that it is not going to break and it is not going to buckle also easily. Okay, both the things it is not having. Now means you cannot do it, you cannot break it easily, you cannot buckle it, you cannot what you call thrash it easily. Okay, so lignin makes the cell wall impermeable. Impermeable means beta, impermeable means, so two things, tensile strength. First what we have understood, tensile strength, lignin is giving tensile strength. Second beta, it is exactly making it high compressional strength. Compressional strength, tensile strength, compressional strength, tensile strength. Lignin is doing what? They are making the cell wall very hard like cement. They are making the cell wall very hard like cement. They are making the cell wall very hard like cement. Okay, and they have exactly providing tensile strength and compressional strength. What they are providing, the lignins are providing tensile strength and compressional strength. Again and again I am telling, cannot move in and move out. Correct only, Shrutika. So beta, here they are telling that the next important feature of lignin is the cell wall is impermeable. Impermeable means like this wall. This, if I want to keep my hand inside it, will I be able to take my hand inside it? You will say, auntie, how you are going to take your hand inside it? It is impermeable. It will not allow your hand to go inside. Okay, so and so important substances are unable to pass through it. As a result, cell wall that are heavily lignified do not have living content, that is protoplasm. Do not have living content means they do not have protoplasm. They do not have living content, CONTENT. They do not have living content they do not have living content means they do not have protoplasm. So that means we have understood back to back some very important point. Let's check that point out. First we have studied about lignin. First thing we have studied about lignin is it makes the cell wall hard like cement. Okay, like cement. It makes the cell wall. So if lignin is present, it will make the cell wall very hard. It will make the cell wall very hard. Then beta, it is exactly providing two things. One is tensile strength. Second is compressional strength. Tensile strength and compressional strength. The two things this is providing is tensile strength and compressional strength. So these two things it is providing. Tensile strength means you cannot break it easily, cannot be broken. So you cannot break it, and you cannot buckle it. Okay, because of compressional strength you cannot buckle it. And next important point about presence of lignin in a cell means it will be exactly doing, again it will make the cell impermeable. It will make the cell what? Impermeable. It will make the cell impermeable. Impermeable means what? But it will make the cell impermeable means nothing can go inside the cell or nothing can come out of the cell. So if it will make the cell impermeable means that time the cell cannot be living. The protoplasm part of the cell will not be living, it will be dead. The protoplasm part of the cell will not be living, it will be dead beta. The protoplasm part of the cell will not be living, it will be dead. This is a very important part. I want my children to understand. The protoplasm part of the cell will not be living, it will be dead beta. Protoplasm means cytoplasm and nucleus together. So we have understood that lignin is a very important substance that is present inside. If it will be present inside, it will make the cell wall very hard and very like cement like strong. It will be providing tensile strength, it will be providing compressional strength, and it will make the cell impermeable. So four key points we have understood beta. Okay, 4 key points I wrote buccal, buccal. Okay, 4 key points we have exactly understood beta. First key point, it will make the cell wall hard like cement. Then we understood about tensile strength, then compressional, and then impermeable. And this is exactly about lignins. This is about lignins, and this is what we have studied about lignins. We have studied this part about lignin beta. So now we will be understanding the next important point beta. That means sclerenchymatic tissues are having lignins. So the most important part of the study what we have done right now is we came to know that sclerenchymatic tissues are having exactly lignin. Okay. So exactly what they have lignin. So this part we have understood that okay, they are having what? Lignins. What they have lignin. And beta, their protoplasm part is dead. Okay, the cell wall of skin are thickened of lignin. Now such cell wall are called lignified cell wall, because if lignins are present, so these cell walls will be called as lignified. But they are saying that buckle your shoes. Buckle your shoes means what? Will you be able to tie them together? Think about it, Ekta. Darshini, that cavity part will not be there. In sclerenchymatic tissues, na beta, cavity, cavity section is not there. But Ekta has asked a very important question. She is asking about buccal part. Okay, we cannot tie it, and that is what beta. Since it is very hard, it's tensile strength, so we cannot compress it. You cannot buckle it. You cannot fold and tie it out. Okay, so that's why they are saying that you cannot buckle it. And you know better, understood Ekta? That's why they are telling that you cannot buckle it out. You cannot buckle it out. You cannot tie it out. Understood, Ashwin? Ashwin, you understood or not beta? Thank you, Ashwin. Super beta. So now that means now sclerenchyma closely packed. Next important point about sclerenchymatic tissues are they have lignified cells. We know that due to excessive thickening of sclerenchyma cell wall, its cell cavity or lumen becomes nearly absent. So there will be no cell cavity. That's why Darshini I was talking about. No cell cavity means there is no gaps in between them. They are very hard, stiff. Gaps are not there in between them. Okay. So cell of this are closely packed without intercellular space. So intercellular space will not be there. Why? Because they are exactly hard, stiff and lignified. Because of that, in between the cells gap will not be there. So that's why beta, the intercellular space will not be there. What word we are going to say? Okay, the intercellular space is exactly not there. Okay, now these cells are fitted together like tile in the mosaic floor. The conspicuous middle lamella exists between the two sclerenchymatic cells. Middle lamella is the thin layer. So middle lamella, about middle lamella tomorrow I am going to teach. Don't worry about it. Happy? Happy? Time is there beta, time is there. We don't have exactly studied for 20 minutes also. Oh, we studied for 38 minutes. That's why. Okay, super. Very great. So now beta, this part please kindly let me explain. The last part I am going to explain. So these cells are fitted together. I told you that sclerenchymatic tissues, okay, the sclerenchymatic tissues are exactly having very lack of intercellular space in between them. Because of that beta, they are very hard and they are very nicely packed together, like in your floor how tiles are exactly arranged. In the same way, the sclerenchymatic tissues are very tightly arranged and packed with each other. tightly arrangement is there, packing is very very tight beta for them. Now next is a conspicuous middle lamella exists between two sclerenchymatic cells. Middle lamella is a thin layer of cementing substance containing pectins, lignins and proteins. It is occurring between cell wall of two adjacent plant cells. So I am going to show you what is middle lamella. That definitely beta middle lamella will be exactly coming in between that what you call sclerenchymatic tissues. I will show you. It is exactly again acting as a cementing agent. Okay, so now just in simple word I told you, I will show you the middle lamella section, then it will become easy for you to understand. Now look here, these are beta lignins, these are the polymers. You see the formula of the lignins, and these lignins are exactly like fiber like content will be present there. Now look here, these are cell wall beta, and this part is exactly called as middle lamella. This part is exactly called as middle lamella. In between the middle lamella you can see that cell wall is there and microfibrils will be present, pectins. You see this pectin region is there and beta cellulose are there and plasma membrane will be there. So that is what beta middle lamella will be present in sclerenchymatic tissues in the upper and the lower region. So that is what they are telling. Check this picture out. I gave you time to check it out. That is what beta, it is occurring between the two plant cell wall. It is exactly occurring, it is a cementing substance. It is making the cells very very hard beta. So between the two cell walls, adjacent cell wall, plant cell wall, this middle lamella will be present beta. And it is again a cementing substance. What it is exactly called as a cementing substance. So two sclerenchymatic cells, in between two sclerenchymatic cells you will be seeing that this is exactly containing middle lamella. It is a thin layer of cementing substance. This middle lamella is what? It is exactly a thin layer of cementing substance. Okay, it contains what and all things it is containing? It is containing pectins, it is containing, understood not? So middle lamella is containing what? It is containing pectins, it is containing cell wall, it is containing protein. Okay, it is present between two cell adjacent plant cells, middle lamella, and this middle lamella will be present in which one? Sclerenchymatic tissues. In sclerenchymatic tissues this middle lamella will be present beta. So I am going to keep it till here. This section we have studied. Now tomorrow we will start with the next section beta. The function we are going to start. Sclerenchymatic tissues function beta, occurrence. This part we have understood, introduction, nature and occurrence. So we have understood about sclerenchymatic tissues. Now we are going to go for nature and occurrence in next class. Nature and occurrence in next class we are going to do. Okay. Then plant cell will be over. First Saturday class will be there beta. First Saturday class will be there and after that. Okay.